Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bridging the Gap. We're here today in our studio at Nelson and Associates Insurance, and we have a very special guest with us today. Most of you may know her. Robin Turner is our under 65 sales manager, and we're so happy to have her here today. And we're going to talk today about some things that are important when you are shopping for individual or family coverage, healthcare coverage for yourself and your family. Robin is an expert at what she does. She has been with Nelson and Associates since the beginning of time. Robin and I talk all the time about how we remember before the office was open, we were working out of our dining room. Mm-hmm. We would meet and we would work together, and then we decided we needed a space. And as you know, in previous session, the office itself was never a goal, but it just evolved over time. And then here we are. Now we're doing a podcast, and the things that you have seen grow within Nelson and Associates Insurance yourself, and how much you have grown, and how much knowledge you now have. Mm-hmm. The plethora of information that you have is so valuable to us. And so I want to welcome you today to the podcast. We want to turn it over to you, Robin, if you want to share any stories or anything that you want, and then we'll get right into our topic today. So just before you begin, our topic today is why do I need insurance? Mm-hmm. Why do you need health insurance? Why do we need it? What's the purpose?
Right. So it's a pleasure to be here. It's exciting. This is brand new for us, and we're super excited to be able to share all of our knowledge with you guys. It has been a fun journey for sure. Kim and I have started we painted by ourselves in here. We have been in our leggings and t-shirts and had customers show up and be like, oh, surprise. So it has been a fun journey. So we are super excited to be where we are. We absolutely want to grow from here. The only way now is up, so we only can get bigger and better. So I'm super excited to be here, and honored to be able to be a part of this team as well.
Yes, and we're thankful to have you, Robin.
Well, thank you.
For those of you that have not had the opportunity, and I say that in a way that if you have not had the opportunity to come in and meet with Robin, you owe it to yourself and to your family to come in, even if you just have questions, even if you have coverage. Robin has always made herself available, even to people that we were not able to keep as customers. Yep. They leave here with knowledge that and assistance. Mm-hmm. It's a scary thing to not know a lot about health insurance, and just not know where to begin.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. And just a quick story from yesterday. I don't even know if I've told Kim yet, so I'll tell Kim and everybody else. We had somebody come in the office yesterday, and Savannah was unavailable. So she was just beside herself. She had acquired her sister-in-law who had some health issues, and she was on Medicare, and she just did not have any idea where to start. And she said, I'm sorry to barge in on y'all. You don't have to do anything. I'm absolutely, come on in. We were able to help her, guide her in the right way. She's not even our customer.
Right.
So I told her the best thing she can do is take our little QR code and just give us a little,
review.
Yeah, review. Sorry, I was trying to find the words, testimony or whatever, because that's not our focus is not to sell a product. Our focus is to absolutely educate our community, and then they can make the best decision whether it's a good fit for your family or not. We will take the time. That's our job. That's what we do. That's our right. Expectations of ourselves and our coworkers here at Nelson and Associates. So absolutely come in. If you want to come by and have coffee and talk about some insurance, come on. And if you want to come in and talk about whatever, we're always available for our community.
So I just want to interject and say one of the values that we have at Nelson and Associates, we pride ourselves on the fact that we are not AI on AI. We're not artificial intelligence on Amelia Island mm-hmm. or in Nassau County. We are here we're tangible. You can come in, you can see us face to face. We will interact with you. You know, it's not a computer chat bot what that you put in a question and it doesn't really understand, you know, the severity behind the question, you know, of the individual. And so one of the things that we pride ourselves on here at Nelson and Associates is the customer service. As you know, you've been with me
Absolutely.
from the beginning when we really didn't have a structure per se. We began to talk about, you and I began to talk about, you know, what do we want to build this business around? Like, what is our mission? What is the vision? And so we built this around, you know, customer service. That is really what is missing this day and time. I've had some bad experiences, you know, with people who did not care
Yep.
as much about customer service. And so I just want to brag on you a minute and tell the community that most of the reviews that have been done either on Google or Facebook or through a survey that we send out to customers after they come into the office have been on you. And we received one even yesterday.
Oh, good.
And I'm proud as a business owner. I'm proud to say that your reviews are always 5 stars. We've never to this date had anyone say anything negative about you. And so from myself as the owner of Nelson and Associates, but also from the community, I want to say thank you for taking time to assist people when you really didn't have to or you really couldn't do anything for them, but you were there to guide. And I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I
well, thank
appreciate
you.
that.
Yeah, thank you.
So our topic today, we're just going to hit one question is why. Robin, tell everyone, why do we need health insurance? Some people feel that they don't really need it. I don't need it. I'm young. I'm healthy. Why do I even need that? Why should I even take that cost on every month? So give us some little insight on why would someone need insurance?
Well, I'm actually going to use a quote that you say often: "Nothing's 100%."
Right.
So it's to safeguard you and your family. If it's you as an individual, it's to safeguard yourself. And if you have a family, you absolutely want to protect your family. So yes, it might be a little expense, but in the long run, you're going to be protecting yourself from a super large bill that you might not be prepared for. All of us, I mean, me included, we live day to day, and you know, sometimes we don't think about the money that we spend on a day-to-day basis. But guess what? When you have an emergency arise, you're absolutely going to look at your bank account and say, well, I should have done a little bit better planning.
Absolutely.
So if you have a healthcare policy in place, at least you know what you can expect if something was to happen.
That's really good. I like that. You know, I always tell you guys when people say, "Why do I need insurance?" Insurance is a risk. Everything in life is a risk.
Right.
Okay, you risk the potential of needing medical attention if you walk across a parking lot because there's a potential you could fall, you could trip, you know, you anything could happen. And so it's really, you know, I have always found though that if I don't have it, then I need it.
Yep.
You know, the moment I say, "Oh, I don't need that anymore," the next day something happens and I need it. And
Absolutely.
you know, and I kick myself. There's a lot of insurances in the world. Let's be honest. You can insure
Absolutely.
your pet. You can insure your legs. Tina Turner, I believe, had an insurance policy on her legs because that was her staple.
Right.
You know, you can insure jewelry. You can insure just about anything. But for your health, you know, it's not something that's a chance. It's almost something that's guaranteed.
Right.
Our bodies are human. We're flesh. We are eventually, there will come a
You
time
break down.
when the body is going to start breaking down. And that is why health insurance is so important. I want you to tell the listeners and those that are watching, you know, if I'm a consumer and I come in, do I need a policy that's, you know, is it true that if it's more expensive, it's a better plan?
No, absolutely not. And that's a kind of a myth in our world, because you think the more that you pay, the more that you get. You can have a plan that costs $1,200 a month and you're paying more than somebody that might be paying $36 a month. So that's where our education comes in.
Right.
We go through the plan step by step. We talk about who your primary care doctor is, who your specialists are, what medications you're taking. So your appointment could take up to an hour. So if you're willing to sit and let's dig through it and find out what the best plan for you
Right.
is the best way to do it, the best way to approach your plan.
Right.
And you might decide you want $1,000 plan. Whatever you are comfortable with is what we'll do. We don't sell a policy to sell a policy.
Right.
We sell a policy for an individual.
Yes.
So that's how we kind of mold it to you personally.
Yeah, and I think that, and we can address this maybe in a future session too. The Affordable Care Act. Oh my gosh, the names that have been given to it throughout the time that it was actually put into place.
Right.
There are plans on the marketplace because of the Affordable Care Act, and the Affordable Care Act, or ACA, is not only for individuals. It pertains to employers, individuals. There's guidelines and there's rules that must be followed in that act, and it has been tweaked along the way. As anything,
Right.
when something starts off new, you've got your base, and then you build upon that. And there's been some great things that have happened throughout the inception of the ACA, in our world that we
Right.
live in. But I know too that some people don't even know what is available, and they may go shop for health insurance and come back with an astronomical premium of, somewhere between $300 to $1,200 a month, and they're
Right.
like, "Oh my gosh, I can't afford that."
Yep.
But they have no clue that they may have qualified.
Right.
So I want you to talk about that for a brief second, in our last few minutes. Talk about, what do I do? I want to get insurance for myself, or I want to get it for my family. Where do I start? What do I do?
So to educate, again, what we pride on ourselves, to educate our community, and you don't know that, like, the major carriers, like you have Aetna, United Health, Florida Blue, all of those, you can't get an individual plan unless you go through the ACA. They don't offer that. Now, if you have a group plan, obviously that's how you've gotten that policy through that carrier, is through a group plan. So the only way to obtain a Florida Blue individual is to go through that ACA. So what you'll do is, if you as a consumer go onto the marketplace, and you're going to be overwhelmed because it's not what you do day in and day out. Now, if you told me, to go clean your kitchen, I'm not going to go know where your cups go,
Right.
or where your plates go. So that's the same thing in the marketplace. You're not
good.
going to know where to go because you don't do it every day.
Right.
I do. That's my job. My job is to know those things. And if I don't know, I'm not going to say, here's the answer, and hope that it's right.
Right.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be upfront and honest. I don't know the answer, but let me find out, because now I'm going to know for you, and I'm going to know for future reference.
Right.
So it helps me, if I don't know, to just say, hey, I don't know the answer, but let's find out together.
That's good. I really like your analogy with, I come to clean your kitchen. It's so true that I think with everything, there's things that I don't know how to do, but there is someone out there that is trained to do the very thing, or has the skill set to assist me in my issue. And, what's nice about that is I can pick up the phone and I can call and say, "Hey, my air conditioning isn't working. I don't know what it is." And then they'll send someone out and they fix my air. It's the same thing. It's a
Right.
service. A lot of people think, "Oh, they're insurance sales." We're not selling encyclopedias. We're not out here, trying to beat down doors and sell people stuff they don't need. We're here to service you. And servicing comes from assistance, and assistance comes from a need, and a need is a gap.
Right.
And so that is why we're here doing Bridging the Gap podcast because we want these types of questions answered. And we want our community to be able to listen and to find out, where do I start? So I thank you, Robin. I know that we're going to have more sessions and we're going to dig deeper into those topics specifically. We're going to dissect them. But we want to thank everyone today. I want to thank you again for your tremendous service that you provide to the residents of Nassau County. I myself would feel so comfortable using you as my agent just because I know how knowledgeable you are. Right. But tune in with us. We will be doing more sessions with Robin and all of the team here at Nelson and Associates Insurance. And again, our focus is always to bridge the gap between what we know and what you may need. Tune in next time. You can reach out to us if you want to call the number that's on your screen. You can find us on the web at nelsonandassociatesinsurance.com. Call the office, make an appointment, or you can just stop by. We would love to see you, and we certainly want to help you. So we hope you have a great day, and thank you again. Join us next time on Bridging the Gap.